Christian Covington was cut yesterday. He was the first player cut from the Detroit Lions 90-man roster, or 89-man roster, I should say. And since then, the second wave of cuts have come in. Now, Dan Campbell said on an interview or press conference that this was not all going to be all 37 at one time, but that it would be kind of staggered throughout the days leading up to the 4 o'clock deadline on Tuesday. And right now, after Christian Covington, here is the first major wave of Detroit Lions cuts. Released: Christian Covington, who is a defensive lineman; OL Bobby Hart; OL Jermaine Ifedi; wide receiver Jason Moore; and running back Divine Ozigbo. It is Divine. I heard them say it on the podcast, so now we have gotten that clarified. Now waived: wide receiver Trinity Benson; wide receiver Avery Davis; offensive lineman Obina Eze; tight end Daniel Helm; offensive lineman Alex Mollett; safety Scott Nelson, who they just picked up for Ife Melifonwu; offensive lineman Darren Paulo; and cornerback Kobe Richardson. Now, let me see, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So far, 13 players have been cut from the 90-man roster. So they needed 37 cut in total. So that leaves 24 players that have to be cut to get down to 53. Now, the difference between released and waived is if you are released, then you can go sign with another team. If you are waived, then you have to clear waivers. And I assume you come back to if you don't clear waivers, if you clear waivers, you come back to the team. And then they can wind up releasing you later. That is what I suppose is the difference between the two. But honestly, looking at this list, I can honestly say that it is no surprises on there. Looks like the Trinity Benson. Don't forget that Eze was he went through this last year. He was waived, and then he was put back on the practice squad. Trinity Benson, same thing with them. And then I want to say Denver came back and took him from the practice squad, and then he went on their practice squad, and then we came back and took him from their practice squad and took him back to ours. So none of these really surprised. I think if I had to pick one, I would say Divine Ozigbo. But when I didn't see him during the game on Friday night, when I rewatched it, I was like, wait a minute, he's not out there. It seems like Snell was getting all the carries. So I was like, this dude might be cut, and it looks like he was. So Divine Ozigbo is not going to be on the team, which means that the Detroit Lions either are going to roll with Benny Snell or it's somebody else. Now, just because we don't have a person right now doesn't mean that we might not have a person on our team. The Tennessee Titans, and I was going to think about making this with another video, the Tennessee Titans released Michael Badgley, and we have been having some trouble with Riley Patterson. So my question to you is, do you think that the Detroit Lions should bring back in Michael Badgley, put him on the practice squad, something like that? I don't think he'll last on the practice squad, but just something I thought was interesting. Michael Badgley was there for us last year after we cut Patterson. Now we trade for Patterson, and then he's not that great, but Dan Campbell did say that he has faith in Riley Patterson, so that probably will not happen. But this is the first wave of cuts. Again, 13 people waived and or released, and that leaves us with 24 people that have to be cut between now and Tuesday at 4 o'clock. If we get any major updates, then I'll make another video and we'll go from there. But keep your ear to the ground, because it's going to be more of it. I got a lot of catching up to do, a lot of stuff that I've heard, a lot of stuff that I've seen that I will be pumping out videos. So make sure you have that notification bell rung. We are 3 subscribers away from 12,700. So consider if you haven't, because what I've seen is 55% of you watch, you keep coming back. My returning viewers, 44,000 who come back every 7 days, but only 12,000 of you are subscribed. So there's a little discrepancy there that we need to fix. So consider subscribing to the channel if you want things from a fan-driven perspective, which is what I am. And as you can see, we back in the studio, man, back with the Lion, and we are here. I want to give a special shout out to the workers at DTE for putting in that work. I was without power for 48 hours, had to throw out everything in the refrigerator, but you know, what can you do? I still have my house. No tree fell on it. I've seen that happen. Trees uprooted, and we got a big old tree in front of our house, so it could have been worse. Sucks to have no power because we're used to that, but we're back now, and I want to thank them guys for doing it. And thank you, too, for all the support and love and well wishes that you've given me and my family. And I reciprocate those things back to you. I hope that wherever you are, if you were affected by the 7 tornadoes that touched down in Michigan, that you are safe and you are hopefully have power, man, and can get back to whatever normal life is. You guys are awesome. Take care of yourself and each other. And as always, go Lions. We got a lot of catching up to do. Feels good to be back.